Aldi is the budget shopper's dream. No fast checkouts, no frills shelves, and prices so low they feel too good to be true. But behind those savings is a system built on speed, strategy, and secrets most customers never notice. From hidden brand tricks to psychological shopping traps, Aldi is more calculated than you think. These are the 10 Aldi secrets they definitely don't want you to know. And once you see how deep it goes, you'll never look at this store the same way again. Walk into an Aldi and something immediately feels different. The store is clean, quiet, and incredibly efficient. But there's one thing that always stands out. There are barely any employees, no greeters at the door, no army of cashiers, no stalkers roaming the aisles. Usually, just 2 to 5 workers are running the entire store, and that's not an accident. It's a core part of Aldi's business model. Unlike traditional grocery stores that staff up with dozens of employees across different departments, Aldi runs on a lean, cross-trained team. Each employee is expected to handle multiple roles: cashier, shelf stocker, cleaner, and even shift manager, when sometimes all within the same hour. This isn't just about saving on labor costs, although it absolutely does that. It's about control, speed, and maximum efficiency. The fewer people involved, the fewer variables there are to manage, and Aldi thrives on that consistency. But here's where it gets intense. Those few employees, they aren't just expected to work fast. They're timed, monitored, and evaluated constantly. Cashiers, for example, are trained to scan faster than anywhere else in retail. Most products have multiple barcodes, so they don't have to flip items around. Every second matters, and the pressure is real. Workers are often scheduled with zero overlap, meaning as soon as one shift ends, the next person is already on the floor, alone. That's why lines at Aldi can grow long, and then suddenly move lightning fast, because there's often just one person running the entire front end of the store. This ultra-lean staffing model helps Aldi keep prices low, fewer salaries, fewer benefits, but it comes at a cost, especially for the workers. The pace is relentless, the multitasking is non-stop, and burnout very common. But to Aldi, it's a fair trade-off, because when it comes to squeezing every cent of efficiency out of the system, less staff means more profit, and you, the customer, rarely question it. You walk through Aldi's aisles and something feels off. You recognize the type of product, the shape of the box, even the colors, but not the brand. There's no Frito-Lay, no Heinz, no Kellogg's. Instead, you see names like Clancy's, Berman's, and Millville. At first, it looks like Aldi just stocks generic food, off-brand versions of the real thing. But here's the twist. Many of these generic brands are actually made by the same manufacturers behind the big names. That's right, Aldi's shelves are filled with private label products that come from major food companies you already know and trust. These companies produce the exact same items or slightly altered versions and sell them under Aldi exclusive labels. The catch? You'll never see the brand name, and Aldi won't confirm who made it. Why? Because part of the deal is secrecy. It protects the name brand from being undercut and lets Aldi offer a nearly identical product for a much lower price. For example, many customers claim that Aldi's chips under the Clancy's label taste suspiciously close to Lay's. Their peanut butter rivals Jif, their cereal from Millville looks and tastes almost exactly like Kellogg's. Even their ice cream, frozen pizzas, and yogurt often mirror popular national brands in flavor and texture. These aren't low-budget knockoffs. They're white-labeled products made in the same factories with the same equipment, just packaged differently and sold at a discount. But here's the genius part. By removing brand loyalty from the equation, Aldi gets you to focus on price and quality, not logos. And once you realize you're getting the same experience for less, you start trusting Aldi's labels more than the originals. It's a quiet trick, one that keeps you coming back and thinking you've outsmarted the system, when really, Aldi is playing the game better than anyone else. The first thing you notice when you pull up to Aldi isn't what's inside the store. It's what you have to do just to get a shopping cart. Instead of freely grabbing one like at other supermarkets, you're asked to insert a quarter. And while it may seem like a small inconvenience, this simple system is one of the smartest psychological tricks in retail. On the surface, Aldi says the cart deposit is meant to save money, and that's true. By requiring customers to return their carts in order to get their quarter back, Aldi doesn't have to pay employees to chase carts around the parking lot. This cuts labor costs, keeps the parking lot cleaner, and improves store efficiency. But the real magic isn't just in logistics, it's in how this little coin changes your behavior. That 25 cents creates a subtle but powerful shift in responsibility. It makes you feel like you own the cart while you shop. You're more likely to treat it carefully, return it to the right place, and even feel a tiny sense of pride when you push it back into the line. You'd never chase a cart down at other stores. But for your quarter, suddenly it feels worth it, and Aldi knows that this mindset bleeds into how you shop. Once you're mentally committed to the cart, you're committed to the experience. It's no longer a casual browse. You've invested, even if just a few cents. Psychologically, you've entered the store with purpose, and purposeful shoppers spend more. Even more interesting, this system creates social pressure. If you're the one who doesn't return your cart, everyone around you notices, so you do it. Not just for your quarter, but because it feels like the right thing to do. It builds a quiet culture of order, respect, and efficiency without the store ever having to say a word. That little coin might seem like nothing, but at Aldi, it controls behavior, reduces costs, and reinforces the brand's identity all at once. It's one of the cheapest yet most effective tricks in modern retail. If you've ever checked out at Aldi, you know it's fast. Almost too fast. Cashiers fly through your cart with the precision of a machine, scanning items at a speed that feels like a race. And that's because it is. At Aldi, speed isn't just encouraged, it's required. Every cashier is trained from day one to move faster than employees at nearly any other grocery chain. But they're not just being polite or trying to help you save time. Behind the scenes, they're being timed, measured, and ranked. Aldi tracks the scan rate of each cashier, calculating how many items per minute they move through the register. If you fall below target, you don't just get a gentle reminder. You risk being pulled aside, written up, or even losing your job. This relentless pace is part of Aldi's efficiency model. Fewer staff means each worker has to do much more, and speed at checkout is one of the most visible ways to maximize productivity. But it goes even deeper. Aldi's packaging and product design are specifically built for speed. Most items have multiple barcodes, so the cashier doesn't need to flip them around. Cereal boxes, canned goods, even frozen items are made to scan easily. Every design choice optimized for quick movement. But while customers benefit from this speed, employees bear the weight. There's no conveyor belt. You're expected to throw your items back in the cart and bag them yourself at the designated area. This saves time, sure, but it also puts pressure on customers to move fast too. No chatting, no questions, just move, pay, and go. And Aldi doesn't stop there. Cashiers are also expected to clean, stock shelves, and manage inventory between customers. Every minute you're not scanning, you're doing something else. The result is a workforce that's constantly moving, constantly monitored, and constantly under pressure. So when you see that Aldi cashier moving like lightning, don't assume they're just naturally fast. They're trained to be that way. Because at Aldi, speed isn't an option, it's survival. When you walk into Aldi, it feels simple. No flashy signs, no cluttered shelves, just a clean, minimal layout with wide aisles and neatly stacked products. But don't let the simplicity fool you. Every part of the store is carefully designed to guide your movement and influence what you buy. Aldi's layout isn't random. From the moment you pass the fresh produce at the entrance to the freezers at the very back, you're being led on a deliberate path. It's called a forced flow layout, and it's meant to take you past as many products as possible. Even if all you came in for was eggs and milk. By placing staple items like dairy, bread, and meat near the back of the store, Aldi makes sure you walk by dozens of tempting displays along the way. And since Aldi has a limited selection, those end caps and center displays are packed with high-margin snacks, seasonal items, and impulse buys that you weren't planning to grab, but now suddenly want. Even the shelves are arranged to control your focus. High-profit items are placed at eye level, while lower-priced or less popular items are often on the bottom rack. The packaging, bright, bold, and made to catch your attention. And those giant cardboard boxes, they're not just for stocking speed. They subtly make the store feel more like a warehouse, where bulk buying and good deals feel normal. But there's more. The minimalist design creates a calm, no-frills atmosphere that keeps you focused on one thing: shopping efficiently. No music, few distractions, and narrow product choices reduce decision fatigue, which means you shop faster, spend more, and get out without overthinking it. And the best part for Aldi, it doesn't feel manipulative. Customers assume the store is just simpler, but in reality, you're being gently steered from the moment you walk in until the second you check out. At Aldi, it's not just what you buy, it's how you were guided to buy it. Pick up almost any product at Aldi: a box of cereal, a bottle of ketchup, a pack of snacks, and you'll notice something strange once you start looking closely. There aren't just 1 or 2 barcodes. Sometimes there are 3, sometimes more. And they're not hidden. They're printed all over the packaging. So what's the deal? This isn't a printing error. It's one of Aldi's most underrated secrets. And one of the key reasons they're able to keep their checkout lines moving faster than nearly any other grocery store. Those extra barcodes are there for one reason: speed. Aldi cashiers are trained to be lightning fast, but no matter how skilled they are, one thing can slow them down: flipping products around to find the barcode. So Aldi worked around the problem. Instead of making the cashier find the barcode, they made the barcode find the scanner. Whether you pick up the product facing forward, backward, or upside down, there's likely a barcode visible, which means the item can be scanned in one quick motion with no delays. This design choice may seem small, but across hundreds of items and thousands of customers per day, it adds up fast. It saves seconds per transaction, which becomes minutes per hour, which translates to fewer lines, fewer cashiers needed, and more satisfied customers, all without sacrificing speed. And it's not just about customer experience, it's about cutting labor costs. Aldi doesn't want to pay more employees to do the same job slowly. They want fewer employees doing it faster, and packaging plays a huge part in making that possible. Even the boxes products come in are optimized. Many items are displayed inside their shipping boxes, which are designed to be opened and stocked quickly, reducing setup time and employee effort. So next time you're at Aldi and your cashier scans your groceries in what feels like record time, remember, it's not just them, it's the packaging, the store, the system. Everything at Aldi is engineered to save time, even the barcode. At Aldi, there's no loyalty program, no digital coupons, no flashy app tracking your every purchase. It feels like one of the few grocery stores that doesn't monitor you obsessively. But here's the twist: Aldi watches what you buy very closely. They just do it differently. Instead of tracking you by name or account, Aldi watches what sells, how fast it sells, and what doesn't move at all. Every product you pick up and every product you ignore is part of a bigger system designed to shape the future of the store. It's called turn rate tracking, and Aldi uses it more aggressively than almost anyone else in the grocery business. Because Aldi stocks far fewer items than a typical supermarket, around 1,500 products versus 40,000 plus at major chains, every square inch of shelf space matters. If a product doesn't sell quickly and consistently, it's gone. No second chances, no long trial runs. Aldi will cut it without warning and replace it with something else. And if something flies off the shelf week after week, it earns a permanent spot. This creates a constantly evolving shelf, one where only the strongest products survive. And yes, that includes seasonal and special buys. Aldi uses limited time items to test customer interest in new products. If something sells out fast, it might return. If it lingers, it's never seen again. And it's not just what you buy, it's when you buy it. Aldi watches purchase patterns down to the day and even the hour. They know when to restock, when to discount, and when to rotate products to get your attention. It's a silent feedback loop that's constantly adapting, and most customers never realize they're part of it. So while it may feel like Aldi is just offering what's cheap and convenient, the reality is far more calculated. The store you see today, it's built from the choices you made yesterday. When you shop at Aldi, the fresh section looks appealing. Warm bakery smells, bins of produce, and shelves stocked with what seems like just made items. But here's something most shoppers don't realize. A lot of what looks fresh at Aldi actually arrived frozen. Let's start with the bakery. Those soft rolls, croissants, and even some muffins. They're not baked from scratch in the store. In many cases, they're pre-made in industrial bakeries, flash frozen, and shipped to Aldi locations where they're thawed or reheated before being placed on the shelves. This gives the illusion of a freshly baked product, soft texture, golden crust, and all. But in reality, the hard work was done weeks ago, hundreds of miles away. It's not just baked goods. Some fruits and vegetables, especially seasonal or out-of-region produce, may arrive in a partially frozen state to preserve shelf life during long transport. They're then rotated into the fresh bins just like locally sourced items. This method isn't necessarily harmful. In fact, it's a common industry practice, but Aldi rarely discloses it up front. Even prepackaged deli items and meats can follow a similar path. Some of the ready-to-eat options are pre-cooked, frozen, and simply defrosted on site. To the customer, it looks like it came in fresh that morning. In truth, it may have been sitting in a freezer for days or even weeks. Why does Aldi do this? Because it cuts costs dramatically. Frozen transport is cheaper and more consistent than daily fresh deliveries. It reduces waste, ensures uniform quality, and allows Aldi to keep prices low, all without customers realizing they're buying defrosted goods. It's not about deception, it's about perception. Aldi delivers products that feel fresh, even when they technically aren't. And unless you know what to look for, or check the fine print on packaging, you'd never know the difference. In a store built on speed and efficiency, fresh is often just a label. Step into a traditional supermarket and you're faced with an overwhelming number of choices. 10 brands of peanut butter, dozens of cereal options, an entire aisle just for chips. But Aldi? It's different. Their shelves are stripped down, streamlined, and focused. You'll see 1 or 2 versions of each product, and that's it. To most people, this seems like a limitation, but in reality, Aldi's limited selection isn't a flaw, it's one of their biggest strengths. It's a strategy designed to simplify your decisions, speed up your shopping, and make you spend more without even realizing it. It's called decision fatigue, and Aldi knows exactly how to avoid it. When you're given too many choices, your brain slows down, you hesitate, you compare, you second guess. That delay makes you buy less, or not at all. But when you're offered just 1 or 2 trusted options, you pick one and move on fast. That's how Aldi keeps carts full and lines moving. This limited variety also allows Aldi to buy products in massive bulk. Instead of splitting shelf space between 6 brands of ketchup, they carry one, their own, and negotiate directly with suppliers to get the best deal. That volume saves money, and those savings are passed to you. It's how they offer name brand quality under the Aldi label for a fraction of the price. But the brilliance doesn't stop there. With fewer items on the shelves, Aldi stores are smaller, easier to navigate, and cheaper to operate. They require less storage space, fewer employees, and less maintenance. And since every item is carefully curated, there's almost nothing in the store that isn't selling well. This also creates trust. Shoppers start to believe that if a product is on Aldi's shelves, it's been tested, refined, and proven. There's no clutter, no filler, just what works. So while it might seem like you have fewer options, Aldi's making that choice for a reason, because fewer choices mean faster shopping, bigger baskets, and more control over your spending, for them and for you. Aldi is known for rock-bottom prices, efficient checkout lanes, and no-frills shopping. But behind all the savings is a reality most customers never think about. Those cheap groceries come at a cost, and it's paid by the employees. Aldi runs on an ultra-lean staffing model, where a traditional grocery store might have 20 or more employees on a shift. Aldi often operates with 5 or fewer. Each worker is cross-trained to do everything: ring up customers, unload trucks, stock shelves, clean bathrooms, handle inventory, and even close or open the store, all in a single shift. It's not an exaggeration to say that Aldi expects every employee to do the work of 3 people. And while Aldi pays higher than average starting wages in many areas, the trade-off is intense. The pace is fast, the expectations are sky high, and the workload is relentless. Cashiers are timed, stockers are given precise quotas, and managers are expected to lead while still doing physical labor. Breaks are short, shifts are often back-to-back, and turnover can be high, especially among new hires who don't realize what they're walking into. Former employees frequently describe the work as exhausting, physically demanding, and mentally draining. Many say they left not because of the pay, but because of the pressure. When your team is short-staffed, which is common, the few people on shift are expected to pick up the slack with no complaints. No one is just doing one job at Aldi. Everyone is doing everything all the time. From a business perspective, this model works. Fewer employees mean lower labor costs, and that's one of the biggest reasons Aldi can sell products so cheaply. But the result is a system where efficiency comes before comfort, and the human side of the business is often stretched thin. So the next time you're breezing through an Aldi checkout lane or grabbing a deal off a freshly stocked shelf, remember, the system might feel seamless to you, but for the people behind it, it's anything but easy. So next time you shop at Aldi, look a little closer. The store may seem simple, but behind the low prices and fast checkouts is a system built on precision, pressure, and psychology. It's not just about saving money, it's about how they guide your every move while making it feel effortless. If you've ever worked at Aldi or noticed something most shoppers miss, share it in the comments. We're reading them all. And if you want more retail secrets and behind-the-scenes truths, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started.